Hello, children. How are you all? Hope you all are in the pink of your health. I'm sure you are doing your work very seriously. So, the other day I had started the lesson My Childhood and I had finished up till page number 71. Today I'll start with the lesson from page number 72. I'm sure you are with your textbooks in front of you. Now, this lesson is about Abdul Kalam, My Childhood, taken from his book, The Wings of Fire, written by him. Now, this part shows how he had spent his childhood. Sorry. Now, Abdul Kalam describes about his mother, his father, the way he had spent, that is, in the beginning, how he helped his cousin, and how he earned a living of his own. He made some money of his own. Now we will come up to the second part of the lesson. Now he tells us, on the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in the terms of segregation of different social groups. He tells us that Rameshwaram was a place where there was a segregation of different, there was a difference in religions, Hindus, Muslims. There was a difference. But however, my science teacher, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, was something of a rebel. But his science master was very different. He was a rebel. He was against this religious bias. He didn't want this to happen. Who didn't want this to happen? Abdul Kalam's science teacher. He was from a conservative Brahmin family. He did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily. Now, he did his best to break these social barriers. He wanted all the people from all different religions to mingle with each other. He used to spend hours with me and would say, who is the me over here? Abdul Kalam is saying that this science master, used to spend hours with him and he used to say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people of the big cities. And this sir found something peculiar. He must have felt that this boy is very intelligent, and that is why Abdul Kalam tells us that this sir used to always sit with him for a long time and used to always tell him that I want you to be in par with other children, other educated people of big cities. One day, what happened? He invited me to his home for a meal. This sir invited Abdul Kalam for a meal to his home. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. Now, ritually pure means these people were Brahmins and nobody other than Brahmins entered their house. So it was ritually pure kitchen. And now this sir's wife, to her utter surprise, who had come over there, the sir had come with a Muslim boy and asked her to serve food for him. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. Shiva Subramaniam Iyer was not perturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. So, Sir did not lose his temper, nor did he say a word to his wife. What he did? The Sir himself served food for Abdul Kalam, and he sat beside him, and they both had the afternoon meal. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. When I was leaving his house, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. Now, Abdul Kalam is saying, Sir himself served. They both had the food together. His wife went out from the kitchen. She stood behind the door and watching them having the food. Now Kalam is saying, why is there any difference in the way I ate, drank water, cleaned the place after food? I just can't understand. Now as Kalam was leaving, Sir tells him that he should come for a dinner next weekend. Now, seeing his wife's reaction, Kalam was hesitant to go to his house the next week. Now, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset, saying, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. So, seeing Abdul Kalam's hesitation, Sir understood it, and Sir tells him, see, once we have decided to change the system, then many problems will arise and we have to face it. When I visited his house the next week, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. With her own hands. Next week, he was an obedient boy. Since he was invited by his master, next week he went over there for dinner. And what did he see? Sir's wife took him to the kitchen and she herself served food for both of them. Then the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. So Abdul Kalam is telling us that by the time the Second World War came to an end and India's freedom was imminent, we all were sure that we are going to get our freedom. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. Now what did Gandhiji declare? Gandhiji declared that Indians will build their own India. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. So by now, Abdul Kalam had grown up. He wanted to go outside Rameshwaram, a little further away, to study. He takes his permission from his father. He told me as if thinking aloud, Abu, I know you have to go away to grow. So his father understood. If his child has to grow, he has to leave that place. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? The seagull doesn't have a nest. Does it not fly? And that too across, alone, under the sun, across the sun, that it flies very high. This was said by his father. Then he quoted Khalil Gibran to my hesitant mother. When his mother heard this, she was not ready, or she showed a little bit of hesitance in sending her son far off to study. And it was during that time the father, Abdul Kalam's father, quotes this from Khalil Gibran's quote. Your children are not your children. He tells her, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Means each individual has got their own individuality. So let them live their life. That is what his father wanted them to be. And he tries to make this understand to his wife. To Abdul Kalam's mother. They come through you, but not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. So you can give them love, but you cannot share. That is, you don't know what is happening to them, what is happening in their mind. Now, I am teaching you. I don't know what is there in your mind. Nor your parents know what is running in your mind. So each individual has got his or own way, her own way of thinking. So let them try to live in that. That is what his father tried to make his mother understand. Okay? So this much portion only we have got from this lesson, my childhood. Now, whenever you get time, it is not whenever you get time, do find out time. And when the school reopens, Wings of Fire, the book is there in our library. You should surely go and take that book. Each one of you take a specific amount of time, that is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Return the book to the library. Tell your friend to take and read. And let the whole class, the whole of the 9th standard, read this book, which is really, really very interesting. Written in a very simple language, but with very beautiful and thoughtful information for all of us. Okay? Now, I will be giving the short questions along with this lesson. Do read the lesson and write the short questions. The answers of the previous short questions I'll be giving. Don't wait for my answers. You do write it after reading the lesson and try to correct it when my answers come to you. Okay? So I hope you're doing it in the same way. Now, the notes will also be given. The notes should be written in your notebooks. Okay? And read the text. Now the lesson is over. Read it at least 3 to 4 times. Right? Read it at least 3 to 4 times. So the short questions of this, both the parts. As you read the lesson, you must have written the answers of the first part. I will be giving you the questions of the second part. As you read the lesson, write down the answers and do it in your rough book. Okay? Now, again, thank you very much, my dear children. Take care of yourself and do the work very, very promptly. Very promptly means don't pile it up. Okay? Let your books be up to date. Thank you, my dear children. Bye. Have a nice day.